In news from the USVI criminal courts, we learned that a woman allegedly withdrew money from her father's bank account without his consent. A man was reportedly caught on camera stealing a backpack containing an iPhone 14, and surveillance footage captured a restaurant robbery. VIPD's Economic Crimes Unit began investigating 45-year-old Wanda Rez after receiving a complaint. They found that Rez had taken her elderly father to his bank branch to conduct two separate cash withdrawals totaling $1,000, knowing that he suffers from a neurological disease that rendered him incapable of providing consent. Earlier this month, Rez was arrested at a location in Bethlehem Village, transported to the Wilbur Francis Police Operation Building, processed and charged with grand larceny and obtaining money by false pretenses. Bail was initially set at $20,000, but a judge ruled on Friday that Rez could be released on her own recognizance while awaiting trial. She is restricted to the St. Croix district and must surrender her passport. Rez is ordered to check in with the probation office weekly, prohibited from having contact with her father or entering his residence, and further prohibited from contacting her father's bank. Meanwhile, Omari Horton was arrested earlier this month after police investigated a larceny report at an establishment in Frederiksted. The woman said that on December 9th, she was at work at the front desk of the adventure company. Around 8:15 a.m., she went outside and placed her gray backpack on a bench. She went back inside briefly, but when she returned to the bench, her backpack, containing her $1,400 iPhone 14, was gone. The woman reviewed the establishment's security camera footage and saw an adult male remove her belongings from where she had placed them. She called police, who reviewed the same footage and recognized Horton. Police and workers from the business then searched the vicinity and found the backpack near the pump room, but the phone was not inside. The woman then used the phone's tracking capabilities and traced it to a building in the John F. Kennedy housing community. The 911 emergency call center was notified, and the general location of the phone, as well as a description of Horton, was transmitted. Police soon found him in the housing community along with the woman's iPhone. Horton was taken to the Anselmo Marshall Command police station, where the waiting woman identified him as the man in the surveillance video who removed her bag from the bench. At that point, Horton was placed under arrest and charged with grand larceny and buying, receiving, or possessing stolen property. In court on Monday, a judge ruled that Horton needed to fully secure his $20,000 bail requirement in order to be released into the care of an approved third-party custodian. The usual bail conditions apply, including travel restrictions, a no-contact order, and a daily 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. curfew. On Monday, Alan Bayer appeared before a VI Superior Court judge to face several charges after police reviewed surveillance footage in connection with a burglary at a St. John restaurant. The incident in question occurred back in August, when on the 31st, the owner of the restaurant reported to police that his business had been burglarized. Upon viewing the footage from security cameras, police spotted a buyer leaving the vicinity of the business with a plastic bag identified as one which the restaurant provides to customers who order food to go. Last Friday, an arrest warrant for Bayer was issued, and he was detained that same afternoon and charged with burglary in the third degree, grand larceny, unlawful entry, and conspiracy. In court on Monday, a judge ruled that Bayer be permitted to post 10% of his $25,000 bail requirement, with the remainder to be posted as an unsecured bond. Bayer will need to provide the court with a valid address before his release and will be subject to the usual bail conditions, including travel restrictions, weekly check-ins with the probation office, a daily 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew, and prohibitions against alcohol, controlled substances, firearms, ammunition, and dangerous weapons. He must also stay at least 50 feet away from the establishment where the incident took place and is to have no contact with the restaurant owner or any witnesses in the matter. Bayer's next court appearance is on January 4th, 2023.